Previously, I created a blank plan. Now we'll go ahead and populate the plan a little bit, then save it. First, I'm going to enter the start date on which I expect the project will start. On the Project tab, I can set and view a number of properties for the project. In the Properties group, I click Project Information to open the dialog box. I can set the project start date from here and check project statistics. In the Start Date box, I enter the start date of January 5, 2015. I could also use the calendar control called the Date Picker to select that date. I also want to show you that you can choose which base calendar to use as the project calendar here. I click the calendar list and see that there are 3 base calendars available: 24 hours, night shift, and standard. We're going to continue to use the default standard calendar. I'm done in this dialog box, so I'll click OK to accept the new project start date. In the chart portion of the Gantt chart view, you can now see the project start date. It's shown as a thin dashed vertical line. Now I want to specify some times when no work should be done on the project. In the Project tab, in the Properties group, I'll click Change Working Time. This displays the Change Working Time dialog box. As you can see, we'll change the standard base calendar, which we indicated earlier is to be used as the project calendar. You can see that weekends are already set up as non-working times. They're grayed out. I'll now create an exception to the calendar working time. I'll start by clicking the empty cell under the Name column on the Exceptions tab and type Staff at Morale Event. While you don't need to name calendar exceptions, it's a good practice for you or others to identify the reason for the exception. Next, I'll enter when the exception in working time will start and finish. I click the Start field and type 1/22/15, then click the Finish field. Project copies over the same date to the Finish field. This is what I want, so I won't change it. January 22nd is now scheduled as non-working time for the project, and no work will be scheduled on that date. As you can see in the dialog box, the date appears underlined and color formatting is applied to indicate an exception day. I can select the date to see a description of the calendar exception. I'm done here, so I'll click OK to save my working time changes and close the dialog box. Notice that the chart portion of the Gantt chart view now shows January 22nd as a non-working day, just like Saturdays and Sundays.